Hoister Up crew, we have another project. Today, well, for the next couple weeks, we're going to be replacing our Cutlass bearing and our rag seal in the boat. We're in the plastic, it's getting cold here. Let's just move it over here. Zoom this in a little bit. Further inspection. Weren't planning on changing this out, but when you look at it, you can see some play in there. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up. But you can hear it. I can see it better than probably the camera can pick up. So first thing we're going to do is remove this old anode. It looks like this has paint on it. Some of the old antifouling paint they had, gray. Hard to tell if it was, but this should not be painted. This is supposed to be a clear, clean surface. So electrolysis destroys this and not this. And we got a new one already purchased. I plan on changing it out anyways. Looks like the new one comes with Allen heads. So these are zinc. This is a 7/8 shaft. It might be a 1-inch shaft. I might have to go back and change that out. But we'll take it off and see what we got. And once we figure it out, we'll let you know. And you won't buy the wrong part. I brought some picks that could take some of this corrosion, and yeah, they definitely did paint it. There's paint on the screw, so well, it looks like it might be 7/8. It's hard to tell. They are Allen heads. Been in there for a while. First try and drop it. Well, wasn't that tight. And they did, looks like they put a cotter key in here, possibly to make this one fit. It looks like the shaft has paint on it, corrosion. It looks like there might be paint in there. Sure you're glad it wasn't salt water. Here's the old one. They put 2 cotter pins in here split in half, I guess to take up some room. These are definitely at their max adjustment. And you can see the paint, the blue. That's not supposed to happen. Definitely feels like the old one's heavier than this one. This one's pretty light. Can't really tell what this one says. Just due to the paint corrosion. Here's our new one. Take the sticker off and let's give it a test fit. Looks like we're supposed to have a 1-inch shaft, but we'll give it a shot. I should have waited to take off the sticker, but it was across the 2 halves, so one inch for sure. Looks like there's some set screws here to take the Cutlass out. Once we slide the shaft out, so we'll need to go inside the boat, disconnect it from the coupler, and slide it out. So the shaft's loose. Now we just want to take some of this gunk off so it slides through a little easier. We're going to go really light with this Scotch-Brite pad, soapy water, and then clean it out. Looks like it got a little paint on it up there, so that's why I didn't want to come out. Use this piece of wood. You see all the play in the Cutlass bearing now. There it is. Here's the shaft. Okay, so now we got the shaft out. It looks like there's a worn ridge right here. I don't want to affect this, and there is a step, and then it goes all the way down. There's some of that paint I was talking about. To our propeller, or our prop. In case you're wondering what the prop says on it, let's zoom into here. Two Sailor 2RH11. And that's all I see on it. Prop looks in good shape. We're not trying to be a speedboat, so this standard prop will work just fine for us. We're not looking to do anything folding the prop just yet. It's probably good we go slow until we learn it. So it's hard to see, but it looks, we cut 2 grooves most of the way through, just the bronze bushing. I think we have enough off. We'll apply a little heat and use a press. We found a perfect diameter bushing, applied from an old control arm. Perfect diameter. Run that through with a long bolt, washers on both sides, and pull it out. So let's see what happens. So now we're gonna run down. Let's pull the press through, washer. We can get about this far before I'll have to find something else, but it's right here available. See if it starts to move. There's our bushing that's the same diameter. And we'll need to find a smaller washer once we get close enough. But it's looking okay. Found a metric washer. It's gonna work perfect. Now we just get a little bit of twist on it, a little pressure on it, and then we'll heat it up. Make sure everything's about centered. Hammer, wrench, and torch. So, we're going to heat this up slowly. Okay, so we use the water just to make sure it's not too hot. This will help break the connection of the 2 metals that have nearly welded together. We're not trying to dent it or beat the crap out of it. We're just trying to free it up. Hear that pop? It's a good thing. Okay, we're getting some movement now. So we're going to loosen it up. Line this up so make sure it slides through. Hard to see. See a little bit of movement. See, we're about flush here. Loosen it up one more time, make sure we're lined up again. Now this is a 1/2 inch all thread. We might use this next to socket. It's get us very close to being pushed all the way out. You can use it in conjunction with this. You can see we're actually sliding it out. Here's our bushing. So we're working it out. socket. Now we're really moving. So I started to get tight again, which means I've bottomed out into my socket here. We'll give it a few good taps, see if it's enough to just pull it out the rest of the way. There you have it. Washer bushing. So it was about cutting through some of it, really close to it. All right. In case you're curious, we're going to take a measurement. And I did order these just based off my best measurement off the back. Johnson sleeves. You have the Duramax Marine Company. Has this sleeve. The part number is BACK, B-A-C-K. That's just the way they do it. 0 dowel caliper. 1.250. Wall thickness around 0.065, and it's 4 inches long. So that's it. That's how you can get your bearing out. On a larger boat, you'll probably have to do a lot more cutting, actually get through the bearing, collapse it, unless you got a big enough press. Make a larger one than what I did, using a 1/2 inch all thread, and press out. There's kits that run 2 bolts on the outside, and then have a collar to slide it out. With those, you can do the Cutlass bearing without taking out the shaft. It's probably good to take out the shaft. The shaft has a lot of corrosion. It's probably good to inspect everything. So, but you need to do what's best for your boat. So ours is out. Time to put a new one in. Oh yeah, didn't cut through it at all. Nice. Okay, out by the boat. Got a new Cutlass bearing is. So this is a trademark name, Cutlass. Some people refer to this as a Cutlass. Not really the proper term, it's a sleeve bearing. But everyone in the industry knows what it is when you say Cutlass, and it just sticks. So this is a Johnson Cutless bearing, manufactured by Duramax Marine. They do the part numbers kind of weird. This is a back. That's the part number. Inch shaft by 1.25 inches outside by 4 inches long. They do have real numbers on these as well, I think. Not sure what that number is. But let's examine these. So So what I notice is the old bearing, you can see it's dry rotted, it's actually coming apart. It has 10 ribs. And this one has 8 flats, and this one has 10 flats. Shouldn't make a difference. Now when you put these in, you don't want to put any oil on them because you want the interference fit to hold. Once you get it in, you will need to drill out a little bit into the metal where the set screws will go. This little pilot hole gives a little bit more holding power. So got the part number etched on here. Made in USA. There's the part number back. 1-114-400. So let's go ahead and get that installed. Plan is to chill this outside. It's like 8 degrees outside. If that, I'll just stick it outside, cool it down, heat up our strut right there, and see how far we can slide it in before we need to press it in the rest of the way. We do want to make sure that the side facing the propeller, the side that we're looking at, remains flush, and the side facing towards the shaft entry or the motor, that can protrude a little bit. We just want that side to be flat. Okay, so we're getting ready to put our Cutlass bearing in. We're going to use our same strut, and we got a nice block to drive it in, and then we'll use the same socket on the back side and make sure we clear this. So we're going to apply a little bit of heat. Our bearing's pretty cold. It's getting pretty close. I don't want it extremely hot. We'll just kind of use water to see how fast it evaporates off. You see how hot that is. Okay, got our bushing. This has got some burrs on it. Flush. See, we're protruding out over here. That went better than expected. Ice water here, it cools down. We don't want to damage the rubber. It's cooling off. It's not too hot. Still warm. Now next we'll get a drill bit. Let's put a little point in there, not all the way through, just so the set screws can grab something. And this Cutlass is installed. We got our 3/16 drill bit. This drill bit fits in there with some play without hitting the threads. These are a 1/4 inch set screw. When you got a drill, we're going to be really careful not to hit the side threads, and we're just going to bump it. Turn it on 1. We put our set screws in. Our boat came with 2 different lengths of set screws. The longer one will go in the back here because it's thicker. The shorter one goes in the front. It was a 5/32 Allen key. When you torque these up, you don't have to crank on them that hard. You don't want to deform the brass. This is installed. Once we get our shaft cleaned, we can put that back in. Well, thanks for watching another Twin Sails episode of how we installed the Cutlass bearing on our O-Day 28. I'm gonna go inside because it's really cold outside. Many months later. So we're painting our prop and our shaft using the PrimeCon, and we have the Trivolux 33 to go on after this. This is the first layer. We had our quartermaster Joe. He finished sanding the rest of it in the old anti-foul paint. We have the strut taped up. You do not want to paint your anode, so that's taped up. Taped up under here. So that's the first coat. And second coat will go on probably another 30 minutes. And then we got to wait 4 hours, and then we can put on the final coats.